Good morning, everyone. We're now on Instagram and Facebook Live. I'm glad you guys joined with me today on this amazing day. And we are so thankful and honored to have each and every one of you to be a part of our lives and part of the ministry. And we're so thrilled and honored because we have so many people from around the globe that actually join with us every Monday on this Instagram and Facebook Live. Those of you who are watching us in the future on Zappit, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, or either here on Instagram or Facebook, hey, welcome as well in the future. I hope this word will be relevant and powerful for you today. So, check this out, guys. So, as many of you know, I write a book every month, and every month what I do is I write a book, and sometimes I'll accompany it with a study guide or workbook. Well, this month actually has been like blowing me out of the water because we've got Finding Your Place, the book, okay, and the workbook that goes with it, Finding Your Place in the world, around you. Now, the reason why I've actually had 4 testimonies, I wanted to read one of them to you today before I get into my teaching. Let me see. Let me pull it up here on this book, Finding Your Place. I won't say who it's from because she might be on here. But it says, Dear Brother Jeremy, I wanted you to know right now your book, Finding Your Place, and workbook has radically changed my life, period. It has meant so much to me, period. I have been off work for 4 days for Christmas vacation, and I actually read the book and workbook within 4 days, period. Morning, noon, and night, period. Wow. I wanted you to know I now have groundwork and things to jumpstart my life on in 2022, period. Thank you so much. This book has changed my life, period. Truly yours. And I found one more. Let me get this one here. Hold on. And this one says, let's see here. Wow. Just ordered your book from Amazon. Got it that quick, period. That was fast. Wanted you to know how much this book has meant to me. I haven't even got to the end of the book, and I'm already writing 2 and 3 pages of notes of finding my foundation and where I really belong in the crowd, with people, and at church, period. I finally see my life clearer now, period. Thank you. That's crazy. Isn't that awesome? I'm so thrilled and honored. I tell you, I never read testimonies, but we get them all the time from books and ebooks and my courses. But I wanted to sort of bring this to you guys today because you know what? I really believe that people are having a divine breakthrough. Now, I've titled this today, Breakthrough, I Found You, because the idea is I want you to find you today, all right? Now, let me explain this to you. I had a lot of people I've come in contact with recently, family, friends, and some of the things that I have gathered together the past probably 20-something years of my life so far, of this part of the ministry, has really begun to impact me and really put me on the scale of my life to weigh out where I belong, who I belong with, where I need to be in my life, who belongs in my life, where I do not need to be. One of the things I love about this book on Finding Your Place and the workbook is understanding, where you do not need to be. One of the things I've realized in life is some of you are saying, where do I belong, where do I belong, where do I belong? You have to understand also, in the book, I also talk about where you don't belong, because the truth is, it's good to know where you do not belong. It's not focusing on the negative. It's about knowing that if you know you do not belong here at this church, or you do not belong here in this crowd, or you do not belong in this neighborhood, guess what? That's a gigantic, huge leap of faith, because it shows you automatically that you don't need to be there. So it's okay to find the places where you do not need to be. That'll help you to find the places you do need to be. Now, one of the things in this book on Finding Your Place, I know this guy, is I talk about things such as, and I've already brought forth some things last week, but I'm not going to touch on those things. I want to bring you some more things in the book and the workbook. But one of the things I find, tell people out with, is finding your tribe. One of the things that has really hit me throughout my life is knowing, do you talk the same language? Now, let me explain this to you, because so many people ask me, I'm flipping to the pages, by the way. So many people ask me, well, Jeremy, I don't want to be a yes person. I don't want to be surrounded by people that are yes. I want iron to sharpen iron. I want to be sharpened. I want people to be able to know, they can trust me as their friend, or they can, or they can tell me, maybe like it is, or, constructive criticism. And that's true. And that's very, 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 very necessary. However, if you're in the wrong tribe of people and you get people who just want to tell it like it is, I mean, we won't go through you know, different political people who told it like it was, that was rude and crude and didn't express the characteristics of Jesus. And so you can't do that with preachers or apostles or prophets or, government officials or presidents, because the fact you have to understand that just because somebody tells it like it is to you doesn't mean they have your best interests at heart. You got to deal, you're dealing with that person with low self-esteem, jealousy, competition. So just because somebody can tell you like it is doesn't mean that they're going to be, they're telling the truth. That's not true. Because it can be out of a wrong spirit, and it can come across to you as being, in your spirit, being negative, because your flesh might not pick it up, but your spirit will pick it up. Your spirit will pick up the fact that that's competitive, it's jealousy. Why am I feeling like I'm put down all the time? They're supposed to be constructive. They're my best friend. Why are they doing this to me? And yet you will never think these things, but your spirit man will. And you'll wake up one day thinking, God, I feel horrible. I feel like, I don't know, I just don't even want to live anymore, or, I don't have any self-esteem. And so you wonder why your friends in your tribe that are telling you like it is, being truthful and honest, is not cutting it. Because you have to see that just because you have a tribe and they're telling it like it is to you, or even being honest with you. Let me explain this to you. Truth sets you free, yes, but let me tell you something. It's not truth if it's coming through a wrong spirit or wrong attitude, okay? You might perceive it to be truth, and you might mistake that for telling it like it is, but that doesn't mean it's truth, because true truth sets you free. And that's why many people say, but I thought I got the truth from my friends, and all of a sudden I feel worse. I feel like I don't feel, my self-esteem has gone low, because they did not give you truth. They gave you an honesty, but it wasn't an honesty of purity. It was given out of jealousy, competition, their low self-esteem. I don't see myself, good, so I'm going to do the same for you. So you have to understand that your tribe of people are going to sharpen you and not... And I'll also tell you the truth, but you will feel the freedom and the liberty and the victory coming out of that truth soon, and not feeling like, well, I don't understand. My tribe is telling me the truth, and I don't understand why. Just because people are different from you, just because people don't, let's say, use the same vocabulary as you, whatever, doesn't mean they don't fit in your life, okay? Because one of the things I love about my tribe is of people that are different from me, I don't allow my tribe to, well, let me put it this way. It's not the fact I don't allow my tribe. If my tribe of friends put down somebody, always, well, let's say, dirty talking, after a while, my brain shuts it down, because I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not going there. No matter how much you have a kindred spirit, or no matter how much you're a Christian, just because somebody's a Christian doesn't make them part of your tribe. Come on, folks. You can be in the whole dysfunctional family of God, because we're all dysfunctional to some degree, but it doesn't mean everybody that is Christianese or Christian is your best friend. Okay? It's because here's why. If you say that, then we would say this. Then we would actually judge. Now, you guys forgive me. Then we would say all black people would like all black people. All white people must like all white people, right? You can't do that. That's like really being ugly, right? So imagine it's still being ugly if you say to yourself, all Christians are my best friends, because we all believe the same thing. Hey, I've been around people who believe the same thing with me, same doctrines of me, and yet can cut somebody to put a knife in their back, all right? So you can't just go off these things. So in the book, I find I tell you about how to examine your tribe and find your right tribe. And key things to look for if they're not part of your tribe and yet you think they are your tribe. The number one thing of your success is those who surround you. It's not about if you went to college or not. It's not about if you listen to other people or not, even motivational speakers, because here's why. All these are extremely important. I always tell people, just, you doesn't mean you're going to have success if you just keep your nose in the Bible and don't read successful books on people, who are successful. Because here's the key thing. The Bible's not a magic pill you swallow. This is not the Matrix, all right? It means you learn. You take from God's word, and you also learn from other successful people, because their story, their example, their experience, their testimony can be live in your reality, talking to you right then, and you need that. God's word is eternal, but also the power of the experience of someone's testimony that causes them to overcome, that will rub off on you, all right? So you need that. You need successful people around you. You need motivational people around you. You need to read books of all different types of genres, not just read just Kenneth Hagin or just Jeremy Lopez. Now you should read me, but I'm saying because you need to be well-rounded. All right. People ask me, what kind of books do you read? I said, I read about Elon Musk. I'm not afraid to say that. You chew the bones. What is it? Chew the fat, spit the bones out, or what? Chew the meat, spit the bones out, whatever. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. That's another good one. I love reading from Jeff Bezos. People who are jealous of Jeff Bezos, I said, look, you're just jealous. That's why you're upset, right? Think about it. I challenge people in their heart to know exactly, why do you not like someone who has money, success, fame, fortune, whatever? Because it's sheer jealousy. Because someone who has started in their basement, some of these guys started in their basement and they made, a lot of money and they became creative because they utilize their creativity. So you have to look psychologically in the back of your subconscious to see, I should give praise where praise is due. So in the book, I teach you how to put a check in your spirit. Because if you're not happy for the people's success and victory and, healing and wholeness and, out of bondage, out of something that you might have been in or you're currently in, if you're not rejoicing with those who rejoice, no matter who they are on this planet, then that means there's a root in you that is embedded in something, whether it's jealousy, competitiveness, low self-esteem, something, because we're called to give praise where praise is due. Now, one thing I will teach you also within the workbook of this book is also navigating also through your understanding that if you don't give praise where praise is due, the reason why that verse is in the Bible is because it's important for you to understand it's causing you to put a check in your spirit. Did you know that? Giving praise where praise is due is one of the biggest check marks or checkpoints in your spirit to keep a watch over yourself. Because if you're not happy with other people's happiness, let's say, let's put it this way. When I hear a Christian or somebody say, I don't like that person because they're talking about all money. 9 times out of 10, it's coming from someone who doesn't have money. 9 times out of 10, it's like, I'm not happy with their being, healed and, or getting whole because they don't deserve it. They sin, they live in sin, or they messed up years ago. I've never done that. When you have that mentality and you're not giving praise or praise is due, it's a checkpoint to let you know that's why you're not receiving healing, because maybe, notice I said the word maybe, because you're ungrateful. Maybe you're jealous. Maybe you feel as if, I have not been as bad as them, right? Then it comes into pride that cometh before a fall. So putting a check mark in your spirit of giving praise where praise is due is a healthy thing for each and every one of us. It keeps us humble, but it also keeps us saying, if I am happy for everyone else's success, when people look at me and say, I'm just so mad at Oprah because she got successful. I'm so mad at, Joel Osteen because of his success. I'm so mad at T.D. Jakes or Tyler Perry or Angelina Jolie or Brad Pitt because they don't deserve it. I'm a child of God, and here they are getting prosperous. No matter who it is on this planet, no matter if they're from India or they're from America, give praise where praise is due means to honor those who have fought the good fight of faith, no matter what terminology they use, because if they're successful and you do not want to give the honor where honor is due, it's automatically a red flag and you saying something's wrong with me, not them. Right? So these scriptures in the Bible will literally keep you at a place of seeing and checking out your entire beingness to make sure if you're okay. Come on, folks. And that's why many people don't find their place in life. Because you cannot strategically or geographically find the area in which you need to plant your feet spiritually and naturally and socially if you're harboring anything in your mind of saying, I don't want to move there, they're all just rich folks. I don't want to move there because they're all stuck up. I don't want to move there because they're all junky. Let me tell you something. When it deals with finding your place, God will check you out and God will keep a test on your spirit about where you need to be in your life. And he will challenge you through rich people, poor people, black people, white people, Indian, Hindus, Buddhists, atheists, agnostics, Satanists. He will literally put people, you're like, oh my God, really? Yes. God raised up evil kings in the Old Testament. Don't think for a moment God is not going to do it again, because God uses anyone in creation to keep you aligned and make sure you're keeping a check in your spirit of who you are, where you need to be, and where you need to flourish and prosper. So finding your place means people will challenge you. People you don't agree with and don't believe like you, that maybe even hate you or love you or don't even know you or think they're your best friend. God will use all people to begin to put you in your place of where you need to be. All right? So, finding your place, book and workbook, is vitally important for you to understand exactly what God uses, because God uses everything in your life, and how God uses it in your life. You need to understand exactly where you need to be in your life and how you can flourish from that place. But God will not put you in the right place if your heart is not completely healed from anything that has happened to you as far as people, places, and things. Because these people, places, and things are things that God wants to flood your life with, but He will try your ground in the past with people from every walks of life to see your response. And if you're going to react to say, he don't deserve that, all Joel Osteen talks about is good things, I want somebody to say, what more do you want him to talk about? I mean, in the gospel good news, and what do you want to talk about? Y'all burning in hell, you sorry, rotten so-and-sos. I mean, that's not the gospel. Jesus never even said those words. I mean, people, I'm like, people want people to say things that they want them to say. They don't want to say things that Jesus wants to say. Jesus said, the words I speak are spirit and life. The things Jesus spoke, he went about doing good, healing all that are sick and oppressed the devil. In fact, Jesus never even told anybody you're going to go to hell if you don't receive me. I'm just being blunt with you. If you don't believe me, you need to start reading your scriptures. The 4 gospels don't even record that, because that was not his message. His message was that of the kingdom. And the kingdom is what brings people to a place of awakening to understand what they want, not what they don't want. I'm being real with you, okay? If you want to know what Jesus said, you need to read the scriptures. There's many things Jesus did not say that Christianity today claims he did, and he didn't. Because I don't mind calling it out, calling people, calling that theology, that's bad theology, out with people, because it's not Jesus language. It's not. All right? If you want to get technical, Jesus never even said the Romans road to salvation. Where's that in the Bible? Of what Jesus said. Because Jesus dealt with people of where they are in their life, what he knew was their challenge, what he knew would work for them, what he knew their weaknesses was, what he knew their idols were, versus what he knew his heart, where their heart was. That's what Jesus did. He never went around, you don't receive me, you're going to burn in hell. And I want about to say, let me think how important that is. Jesus never said it. I think the term is 0 times. You got to know the scriptures and you got to know the kingdom to know what you're saved from and within of what Jesus said. With that being said, I applaud. Kudos to you, Joel Osteen. You're teaching the gospel. Kudos to you, Joyce Meyer. You're preaching the gospel. Kudos to people like Jeff Bezos. I don't know what religion he is, and that's not my business, okay? I'll be the light in the dark places. However, you have been successful by utilizing the creative gifts you had. Kudos to you, my brother. Oprah, hey, you know what? We might not agree on everything. You know what? You came from a nobody that your mother, you said was, people said should have aborted you. Kudos to you, my friend. You started a network. I didn't. All right? You have TV shows. I don't. So I am so happy for you. That's where giving praise and honor is. And you know what that does? It jettisons me. It pushes me and pulls me into finding where I belong. You might say, how do the two connect? Because God will see and test your heart of what you see people as and how you treat people. That will determine where you need to be. And that way you won't go through life all the time saying, the devil's after me, the devil's after me, the devil's after me. The devil's not after your computer. Let me tell you, the devil's not after your computer. All right? He's not after your cell phone. It's called upgrade cell phone. Get a new computer. All right? Or get techno, come on. It's like some of these things we say in the charismatic move is so ridiculous. And it doesn't help us to know the focus of which is the higher call of where we belong in our lives, that we could be more impacting. We can be producing more fruit. We could be being the light in dark places. We can be getting to win people's hearts over to the awakening of who God is. And so when people ask me, hey, look, do I get aggravated on my computer and accept? Sure I do, but I'm not going to be, I'm not going to be ridiculous and act like there's a spirit in my computer. I got more important things to focus on in the kingdom. Are you with me? Come on, folks. Many of you know what I'm talking about. We're like, oh, give me a break, Lord, because it's true. And you might say, why are you bringing all these things up? Because these things I'm bringing up to you speak on where you will be and where you belong. Because if you're not faithful in the small things, you're never going to be faithful in many things. If you're not faithful in the small areas of your life that is taking you down, trust me, God will make sure you're not faithful in the big things. No matter how much you beg, plead, bargain, pray in the Spirit, prophesy, it doesn't matter. God made His word good when He said, you can do all these things, but without love, none of your stuff means anything to me. Nothing whatsoever means anything to me. If you can't love people and love me, it means nothing. And that actually plays and contributes into where you belong in your life. Did you know that? Finding your place, God will look and say, does your heart love all people? That will determine where I need to put you in life. Do you understand how to honor people who are more successful, more brave than you, more honorable than you? Well, you know what I mean. More anointed or more, I don't know, creative, more out of the box than you. Because if you can't, it will determine where God will put you. It's very important to understand that everything, good, bad, and ugly, will be turned around for your good. But if your mindset doesn't see the goodness in the things that God is about to turn around, trust me, you will not find your place and you won't get your promotion. All right? God is after you. And you got to find you. When you find you and you find the Christ within and you find the kingdom within and you learn to extend that love that is greater than faith and mercy, when you extend that to all generations, all people, and learn to give praise where praise is due, you understand the groundwork and you understand to see what God wants you to see within creation, then and only then will God place you in the place in where you belong in your life. Does that make sense, guys? There's so many things that we take for granted, all right? So I'm going to close, but I want to say this to you. I'm going to read in my book, Chapter 7, on a couple of things on finding your tribe. You guys listen to this. I put, up until now, you've begun to realize just how important it is to embrace your own uniqueness and your own sense of individuality. Although it's a great big world filled with other dreamers and other visionaries just like you, you're going to have a place that's reserved just for you in order to find a place in the world around that's entirely yours. This demands uniqueness and individuality. Listen to me. Finding where you belong in your individuality is demanding. Listen to me. It demands your uniqueness and your individuality, because these uniqueness and individualities will unfold before wherever God places you. And if it's not conducive to the atmosphere, if it's not welcomed, and not just by people, but if it's not welcomed by you, that's the most important thing. If your uniqueness and your individuality is not welcomed by you wherever God places you, notice I said wherever God places you, guess what? You will sabotage anything in that new environment. All right, are you with me? It's like a farmer who plants seeds but doesn't understand the process of watering the seed. He can pray to the cows come home, bind Satan, bind the devil, bind whatever demon he wants to create, and what happens is he doesn't. Because of his lack of knowledge, he is destroyed by that. Therefore, his seeds will not prosper. He can lay hands on them, pray over them, do whatever he wants to do, but it will not prosper because of the fact there is rain, there is water, there's a protocol of planting seed, of sowing and reaping that must take place. If not, your fullness of your harvest, of your sowing and reaping process to take you in the hundredfold cannot and will not prosper for you. Are you with me? Because it's not the devil. Your devil is your lack of knowledge. And your lack of knowledge is destroying you on the level of educating and the power of wisdom to say, if I plant, I've got to water. All right? Or at least watch somebody else come around and water it. All right? So with that said, guess what? You can't flourish on finding your place in life if you don't understand these principles of God's kingdom. Because what will happen is it'll cause you to say, I'm planted, I'm planted, I'm planted. And God's like, but you're not gonna survive if you don't understand the processes of God and the planting and the watering. Watering is a must for planting. It has to be that way. So there's a pattern in God's kingdom, and if you don't understand the logistics of the pattern, the wisdom of it, then you're begging God to put you in a certain place or environment. God cannot if you don't understand how to plant the seed there and water there. Because if you don't know how to plant the seed and water in that environment in which you're praying for, guess what? Then you'll never survive. You'll never make it, and you'll never move, right? Find yourself. Find people around you. Learn to honor and praise. And one more thing I'll tell you. So isn't that good, guys? To really see that this demands uniqueness and individuality. We'll read a couple more and I'll close. It requires a sense of personal introspection. It demands looking into yourself. Remember I said earlier, listen to me. It demands looking. We're talking about your tribe. It demands looking into yourself first, in order to truly understand and realize what truly makes you tick. You have to get in contact with yourself first. And once you get in contact with yourself first and discover the power of your uniqueness and individuality, then and only then can you truly attract your tribe into your existence, in your reality. Are you with me? Because they're key elements that actually help you to understand yourself. That way other people will understand you in your new world and your new environment. Are you with me? So, but hold on, let's read a comment here. But see, here's where you have to realize this one thing, is finding yourself is not easy. However, finding your place is not easy. However, when you find yourself, your true, unique, authentic self, finding your place won't be so hard, because it's line upon line, precept on precept. It is a protocol. And finding your place, let me say this to you prophetically. God just spoke this to me. Finding your place means this. If you can't find you, then you will never be able to find your place, because finding you means that you find your place here. You have to be faithful in the small things first, which means the small things, which is not really small, but finding the small thing means you got to find your place here first in order to find your place outwardly. Are you with me? Therefore, remember, things take place in here first. If you're like, I'm praying, I'm binding devils, I'm doing everything, I can't find where I belong, what state, what state, where do I belong, God, Jeremy? Where do I belong, God? Where do I belong? That's a sign that's a triggering sign to you, which means you haven't fully awakened of where you found yourself in here first. Come on, I need some likes here, some comments, because if you can't find yourself in here first, you will never find the extension of where you are and where you belong out here. Find your place here, then find your place here. If you're struggling where you belong in the natural, then that means it's a sign that you're struggling inwardly of where you need to belong. Isn't it crazy how some people can just move from state to state and just like, hey, you know what, prayed about it, I'm gone. All right? You know how they do that? Because they understand the power of the balance of their uniqueness, their individuality. Are they perfect? No. Are they completely whole in all things? Not really, but that means they are whole in areas where they're able to balance themselves out to say, because I understand here, I will understand here. Because I know here, I understand here. Because I see my place here, I will see my place here. That's why, oh, thank you, Lord. Wow. Okay, check this out. That's why the Bible says, wherever, God, this is so good. I just got this. Wherever your foot shall trod, I will give it to you. See, many of you are scared of the wherever, because you're like, no, I belong here. I have to know where I belong. I have to belong. And God's like, wherever your foot shall trod. Hey, wherever your foot shall trod, I'll give it to you. Why will God give it to you where in the realm of wherever? Because that he knows that verse works for people that know that wherever they are here, They're safe, they're comfortable, they're confident, they're grounded because they understand the power of being all things to all people, and they're comfortable with being all things in them because they know that their place inside of them, that is their true identity, is so unlimited and expanded that they feel secure and safe no matter where their foot is because they've already gained ground by owning that ground. If you're nervous in front of anyone, a male, a female, a black, a white, an atheist, a Buddhist, a neighbor, an old woman, a young baby, I mean, if you're nervous about anything or anyone in your life, then there's something there that is saying you're not completely expanded enough to know the power of all things, that you can call all things your place, your home, because you don't feel confident and comfortable in wherever your foot's trotting. Therefore, that speaks triggers inside of you, which is saying you're not comfortable in here to be able to be all things to all people. Therefore, you'll never be all things to all people on the wherever ground your foot shall trod. How many of you just got that? I know this is a little deep for some people. Are you with me? Therefore, you have to realize, all right, that your finding your place is not just about finding your geographically located place where you're going to put your home or plant your family, your wife, your husband, your children. It's about finding your place, feeling comfortable in here, knowing and owning your uniqueness. Not be afraid to talk to people. Oh, I'm shy, I can't talk to people. But I bet when you get in front of somebody who understands, let's say if you're into comic books, understand comic books, you can speak 90 miles an hour. I've been challenged recently. I've been challenged recently with somebody totally different from me. And I made it work. Sat down, was able to talk, no big deal. Found common things. You know why? Because you will find your common ground with people when you know yourself, when you know who you are and what you are, and you understand the allness of God flowing out of you constantly because you're safe, you're secure, and you're not afraid to tread on water. You're not afraid to tread on land because you understand I own all the land in which my foot shall trod because I own all the land here, which means I know my place. I know that I can be all things no matter where I go, where I travel, to whomever I speak to. Are you with me? Because knowing that means I know out here. So I'm not afraid. People ask me, my family says, you don't meet a stranger. And I'm like, I don't care how different you are from me. I can find a common ground. I can find a conversation. Why? Because I'm confident with who I am. I know I have wisdom in me and knowledge and education that I can cross-pollinate with you. In other words, I can cross conversations with you and make it work because I can hear you and what you like, and I can understand that, and then I can find a common factor, common denominator to intertwine and cross-pollinate with your likings. But you know why I can do that? Because I'm confident in my unique ability to feel secure and safe and powerful to know that all things are in me. Therefore, my place can be with you and you and you and you and you. Doesn't mean you're my tribe, but it means I'm confident and comfortable with speaking to all things because I'm confident and comfortable to speaking to all people. Are you with me? And so when you know you'll find your tribe. When you know your uniqueness, you'll find your gifting. When you know your uniqueness, you'll find where you need to live geographically. When you know your uniqueness and your individuality, guess what? No matter where you go, you'll find a common factor there. It doesn't mean that wherever your foot shall trod, I'm going to give it to you to live. It means wherever your foot shall trod, out of someone who knows who they are, and they understand their unlimitedness. That means wherever their foot shall trod, I'll give it to you because I'm guaranteed the person that knows themselves, knows and understands their unique ability, understands they have the allness of who God is resident inside of them, then wherever their foot shall trod, I'll give them the ground because that person is guaranteeing me they will find a common factor, a common denominator, and something of strength between a world that they're not used to treading on. Are you with me? Because nothing becomes a stranger to you and no one becomes a stranger to you. And therefore, you know who belongs here and who belongs here in my life. I know my tribe. I know where people don't belong, and I know people do belong because I know where I belong. Are you with me? How many of you just got that? Go back and listen to this over and over again if you can. Yes, that's right, Brian. God's word is a lamp unto my feet, a light unto my path. Light means revelation, illumination. It illuminates and lights up the path in which you're on. That's the powerful key, but can only be understood by the person who understands the allness that they have, the all things of God's kingdom that resides in them, okay? So with that said, I'm telling you guys, you want all this, you need to be able to download this, order the book today. Now, I have a select few in stock left in our warehouse. So order right now, Finding Your Place combo. I think Pamela's got the link on here for you. Finding Your Place combo. You can download the ebooks within, gosh, probably 50 seconds, I think, to download both of these. They only are sold as a combo together, okay? And or you can order the books, and I will autograph this for you because I'm in the office today. I'll autograph this for you today before we ship them out. But get this right here. Finding Your Place book, all right, and workbook. In the workbook, I give you questions to challenge yourself on and ask yourself the questions about your own environment. I mean, come on, guys. I've already sold tons of these books. We're getting powerful testimonies. Order this today, all right? Order Finding Your Place combo today. All right, let's see. I think we have the link on here somewhere. It might be towards the top. I don't know. But either way, we'll make sure we have a link. There you go. It's on there already. You scroll up towards the top. But I want to make sure you guys have the link on there to where you can order it, okay? I love every one of you. Tell your friends about this. Share it with your Instagram, Facebook. Share it. Let's get this audience growing bigger. Let's bring this into people's awareness. And plus, tell your friends about our podcast, Thoughts Become Things, on Wednesday mornings, all right? And so Facebook and Instagram Live every Monday morning, 10 a.m. Central. Also, podcast, Wednesdays, Thoughts Become Things. Also, drum roll please, mark this right now, every one of you, next Monday night, and correct me if I'm wrong, Pamela, next Monday night at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time. All right, I'll say it again for all of you listening to now and in the future. Let's see. I don't know. I don't have the date on me. I'm so sorry. Does anybody have a calendar? Let's see here. Next Monday night is what date, guys? Let me see if I can find my calendar. Oh my goodness gracious me alive! Help me find my calendar. Anyway, what is next Monday night? Do you guys remember? Next Monday, the 20th. Yes, thank you, God. Okay, thank you, Pamela. Next Monday night, December 20th at 6 p.m. Central, I will be on Instagram, okay? In fact, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll go and make it, I'll make it Instagram and Facebook. Is that fair? Is that cool? Thank you, Brian, for 20th. You're right. Okay, I'll go and do Facebook and Instagram. And let me also say this to you guys as well. If we get more people on Instagram in the future, which we have been, then I might have to cut out Facebook and just do Instagram, okay? But next Monday night will be the deciding factor for everyone. I mean, get your friends, your family members, get them involved. Doesn't matter if we know them, they don't know us, whatever. To get the notifications, click on Facebook and Instagram to receive the notifications when I go live, okay? Because when I do, next Monday night, December 20th, 6 p.m. Central Time, I'm going to do probably almost an hour. I'll say maybe close to an hour, if not an hour, definitely not over an hour, of just prophesying to people, all right? I'm going to do what I did a couple months ago. We're going to prophesy my little heart out to everyone who's on here. We'll try to do everyone we possibly can, all right? I know it gets a little overwhelming, but please, I beg you, people you know need a word of the Lord. Tell them to stay tuned. I'll call your name out, Monday night, the 20th, 6 p.m. Central Time. I'll call your name out and say, hey, you. Or either I'll call your username out on Instagram. Let's say, for example, here we've got, it says, Carol Santos, MHZ, all right? Since I don't know her name, I'll call her username out, and then what I'll do is I'll call her out and I'll say, this is a word of the Lord for you. Give her the word of the Lord, go to the next person. So once again, next Monday night, the 20th, 6 p.m. Central Time, Get everybody. I mean, let this blow up. Let everybody be on this Facebook, Instagram Live. We're going to be prophesying. All right. What better thing than to go into the new year and in this amazing Christmas holiday season to be able to get a word of the Lord? So tell everybody you know, please. In fact, do me a favor. Can you guys do me a favor? Can you put on there? Why don't everybody create when we get off here in a minute? Why don't all of you create that on your Instagram and your Facebook for me, and just say, hey guys, if you ever want to know, heard of a prophet or want a prophet to prophesy to you, join with me, and then give the link. Give the link and just share it to social media. Give the link for Identity Network, Instagram, or the Identity Network Facebook page, all right? I think the Facebook page, help me on this one. Oh gosh, Pamela. The one for Facebook is facebook.com/Jeremy Lopez product. Is that right? Yes, I think it's Jeremy Lopez product. The Instagram one, I think, is, of course, Instagram, but it's just at Identity Network. Okay, yeah, is that right? Yes. Instagram is at Identity Network, and I'm almost positive no, resources. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, Instagram is at Identity Network. Facebook is facebook.com/Jeremy Lopez resources. That's it. That's it, okay? So send those out to all your friends and say, hey guys, it wouldn't hurt to try. Let's see if it gets you a good prophetic word. So tell everybody about it, all right? I love every one of you. Have a blessed, wonderful, powerful, amazing, spontaneous, creative, faith-filled, where it's going to do, loving, kind, gracious, day to day. And as always, I'll tell people on my podcast, if you don't like today, change it. Order this right now. There's a link. Order it, all right? Love each and every one of you. See you next Monday night. Well, now I'll see you next Monday morning, and then I'll see you that night as well. God bless.